The top 10 armies locking and loading in 2024 and 2025. Welcome everyone to a brand new video. Today we're diving headfirst into the world of tanks, troops and geopolitical tension. Buckle up folks, because things are about to get interesting. We're counting down the top 10 armies in the world for 2024 and 2025. Now you might be thinking, Barsam, why are we talking about armies? Shouldn't we be promoting peace and understanding? And you'd be right, my friend, but the reality is these military forces play a massive role in shaping the world we live in, whether we like it or not. So we're going to break down who's got the biggest guns, metaphorically speaking, of course, the most advanced tech and the most people ready to, defend their country. Oh, and a little disclaimer, this isn't about glorifying war, okay? This is about understanding the power dynamics at play on a global scale. Plus, we'll be highlighting some Arab and Islamic countries that are punching way above their weight in the military arena. You ready? Let's do this. Number 1, the USA still top dog. Coming in at number 1, it's the returning champion, the heavyweight title holder of global military might, the United States of America. Now this one probably doesn't surprise anyone. I mean, have you seen their defense budget? It's bigger than the GDP of some small countries. We're talking cutting-edge technology, a massive arsenal of weapons and bases all over the world. They've got more aircraft carriers than you can shake a stick at, and don't even get me started on those drones. But here's the thing, being number 1 isn't just about having the most toys, right? It's about how you use them. And that's where things get a little more complicated. The US has been involved in some, let's say, controversial military actions over the years. So while they might be top dog for now, the question is for how long? Especially with the other big players catching up fast. Number 2, Russia, the bear awakens. Speaking of catching up, coming in at number 2 is the one and only, the vast and mighty Russia. Now, Russia has always been a force to be reckoned with, right? They've got history on their side, a whole lot of land, and enough nuclear weapons to make the entire planet nervous. But lately they've been stepping up their game. We're talking new weapon systems, modernized equipment, and a more assertive foreign policy. Let's be real. The situation in Ukraine hasn't exactly painted Russia as the good guy in recent times, but love them or hate them, you can't deny their military strength. They've got manpower in spades, a knack for cyber warfare, and a leader who, let's just say, isn't afraid to make a statement. The big question is, will they continue to rise in the ranks, or will their recent actions come back to bite them? Only time will tell. Number 3, China, the dragon on the rise. Hold on to your hats, folks, because at number 3, it's the economic powerhouse, the technological innovator, the one and only China. Now, China might be a relative newcomer to this whole global superpower thing, but let me tell you, they are not playing around. Over the past few decades, they've been investing heavily in their military, modernizing their forces, and developing some seriously impressive technology. We're talking hypersonic missiles, stealth fighters, and a navy that's growing faster than a bamboo forest in springtime. And let's not forget about their sheer size. China has more people than any other country on Earth, which means they've got a massive pool of potential soldiers if things ever get really real. They're like that quiet kid in class who suddenly aces all the exams. Everyone else is starting to feel a little nervous. Chapter 4, number 4, India. The sleeping giant awakens. Coming in at number 4, we have a country with a rich history, a vibrant culture, and a rapidly growing military. It's India. Now, India has always been a major player in the region, but in recent years they've been making some serious moves to bolster their military capabilities. And why not? With a population rivaling China's in a neighborhood that's, shall we say, a little tense at times, it makes sense to have a strong defense force. They've got a no-nonsense attitude when it comes to border disputes and a growing defense industry that's churning out everything from tanks to missiles. Plus, they've got that whole world's largest democracy thing going for them, which gives them a bit of a moral high ground on the international stage. Chapter 5, number 5, Saudi Arabia, the oil-rich powerhouse. At number 5, we're heading to the Middle East, to a land of vast deserts, incredible wealth, and a military that's nothing to sneeze at. It's Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia has always been a key player in the region, thanks in no small part to their massive oil reserves. But in recent years, they've been investing heavily in their armed forces, snapping up top-of-the-line equipment from the US and other Western powers. We're talking fighter jets, tanks, you name it, they've got it. They've also been involved in a proxy war in Yemen, which has, unfortunately, led to a humanitarian crisis. This has drawn a lot of criticism from the international community. Still, there's no denying that Saudi Arabia has a powerful military, and they're not afraid to use it to protect their interests. Chapter 6, Number 6, Pakistan, the nuclear-armed neighbor. Coming in at number 6 is a country with a proud military tradition, a strategic location, and a nuclear arsenal that would make even the most stoic general sweat. It's Pakistan. Now, Pakistan and India, they have a bit of a history, right? And by history, I mean they've been locked in this ongoing rivalry for decades, complete with border skirmishes and a whole lot of military posturing. But hey, who are we to judge? Pakistan has been a key ally in the fight against terrorism, or at least their version of it. They've also got a pretty impressive military-industrial complex, producing everything from ballistic missiles to small arms. Plus, they've got that whole nuclear arm thing going for them, which definitely gives them a certain gravitas on the world stage. At number 7, we have a country straddling Europe and Asia with a rich history, a strategic location, and a military that's been making headlines lately. It's Turkey. Now, Turkey has always been a bit of a wild card, right? They're a NATO member, but they've also been cozying up to Russia. They're fighting Kurdish separatists within their borders, but they're also a major player in the fight against ISIS. It's complicated, to say the least. But one thing's for sure. Turkey has a large and increasingly modern military. They've been investing heavily in drones, which have proven to be quite effective in recent conflicts. They've also got a history of military intervention in their neighborhood, so they're not afraid to throw their weight around. Chapter 8, Number 8, Iran, the enigma of the Middle East. Coming in at number 8 is a country with ancient roots, a complex geopolitical situation, and a military that's shrouded in a bit of mystery. It's Iran. Now, Iran has been public enemy number 1 for the US and its allies for decades. They've been slapped with sanctions, accused of sponsoring terrorism, and generally portrayed as the bad guys in the Middle East. But here's the thing. Iran has a legitimate reason to feel a little paranoid. They've been invaded, had their government overthrown, and are surrounded by US military bases. So it's no surprise that they've been busy building up their defenses. They've got a large and battle-hardened army, a formidable ballistic missile program, and a network of proxies across the region. Chapter 9, Number 9, Egypt, the pharaohs of North Africa. At number 9, we're heading to the cradle of civilization, to a land of pharaohs, pyramids, and a military that's as old as time itself. It's Egypt. Now, Egypt has always been a major player in the Middle East and North Africa. They've got a strategic location, control of the Suez Canal, that's kind of a big deal, and a history of military power that dates back thousands of years. In recent years, they've been facing threats from extremist groups in the Sinai Peninsula and instability in neighboring Libya. They've been modernizing their military, receiving billions of dollars in aid from the US and cracking down on internal dissent. Chapter 10, Number 10, Indonesia, the archipelago on the rise. And finally, at number 10, we have a country made up of thousands of islands, with a diverse population, a growing economy, and a military that's quietly becoming a force to be reckoned with. It's Indonesia. Now, Indonesia might not be the first country that comes to mind when you think of military powerhouses, but don't let that fool you. They've got the largest economy in Southeast Asia, a population of over 270 million people, and a strategic location at a key maritime crossroads. That's a wrap. So there you have it, folks, the top 10 armies in the world for 2024 and 2025. As you can see, it's a complex and ever-changing landscape with a mix of familiar faces and rising powers, all vying for a seat at the table. Remember, this isn't just about who has the biggest guns or the most advanced technology. It's about geopolitics, economics, and the delicate balance of power in our increasingly interconnected world. Thanks for watching our countdown of the top 10 armies in the world for 2024 and 2025. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insightful content. And remember, Peace is always the answer, but it never hurts to be prepared. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious, and stay safe.